Before we begin this morning prayer, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like this video. God, this morning feels like I am holding the last edge of a thread, and even that edge feels slippery. The air is heavy, and I can't find a heroic tone inside me. No triumphant song to offer, only a whisper that trembles between my lips. Help me hold on, not for forever, not for the rest of the journey, just for this one fragile day. My heart doesn't want speeches or shining banners. It wants the quiet truth that you are here and that my grasp, weak as it is still enough for you to notice. I'm tired of pretending that everything is under control, tired of shaping my face into courage when my soul is closer to collapse than anyone knows. In this raw space, I don't have elegant words, but I have need. And need is its own kind of prayer, isn't it? I don't ask you to erase the weight or to transform me into someone who leaps over walls. I'm asking for something humbler and harder, to not let my fingers slip, to not let my faith fray completely. Even if my grip is just the size of a mustard seed, even if my hope is only a flicker in the dark, breathe on it. Breathe into me the quiet power to stay, to breathe, to move. One small step through this day. You've seen me here before, on the edge, and still you've stayed. Still you've made the unseen space under me a kind of floor when I was sure I was falling. Remind me of that steadiness now, not in loud miracles, but in the simple nearness of your presence, in the warmth of sunlight across my face, in the echo of a verse I once learned as a child. I confess I'm afraid of how small I feel. Everything in the world seems loud and certain, and I am a whisper. The tasks and needs and people press close, but my hands are trembling cups. Will you hold them as they are? Will you hold me as I am? Not the version of me who can inspire others, not the version who has answers. Just this version who's not sure she can get dressed, drink water, face the day. Hold me steady in your palms, like a bird that's fallen from its nest. Show me that even here I am not beyond your patience or tenderness. Show me that my worth is not measured by my strength, but by your love. Give me the grace to see that holding on does not always look like victory. Sometimes it looks like breathing through one more hour. Sometimes it looks like keeping my eyes open when I want to hide. Sometimes it looks like whispering your name into the silence, because I have nothing else left to say, and still you call that enough. Still you gather my fragments. Still you make something holy from the simple act of staying. Teach my heart to trust that staying is a form of courage, that there is nothing small about refusing to give up. So as I step into this day, shaky but willing, help me hold on, not by my own grip but by yours, wrapped around mine. Let my weakness become a doorway for your strength, my faltering hope, a place where your steady light can enter. Let me feel you as the quiet pulse under everything, not demanding but present, patient, gentle. Let the taste of your nearness be enough to get me through this morning, and maybe through the next hour, and maybe, if you will, through the rest of the day. I'm not looking for a breakthrough today. I'm not waiting for fireworks or thunder or a miracle that shakes the ground. I just want to make it through without falling apart. If I'm honest, it feels like I'm already halfway broken, like something inside me has been unraveling for a while, and I've been pretending not to notice. But you've noticed. You've seen every thread come loose. You've heard every silent thought I didn't even speak aloud, because I was afraid of how fragile they sounded, and you haven't walked away, not once. That's the only reason I can even whisper this prayer, because I believe you're still listening, not just to the strong version of me, but to the undone version too. And I don't need you to fix me right now. I just need you to sit with me in this, to not rush me into joy, or demand that I snap out of it, to not hand me a checklist of how to be better, or stronger, or more faithful. I need you to be the God who stays in the slowness, in the ache, in the part of the morning where I haven't yet found my way into momentum. I need you to help me live this hour without pretending I feel something I don't. It's hard, God. It's hard to show up to a day when my heart feels heavy and my body tired and my spirit flickering. But I'm still here. That counts for something, doesn't it? I still woke up. I still opened my eyes and whispered your name into the quiet. And maybe that's the beginning of holding on. Not some dramatic act of bravery. Just the stubborn choice to stay present. To show up to my own life even when I'd rather curl inward and disappear. And if you can meet me here, in this soft, unfinished, uncertain place, then maybe I'll make it through the next part too. Because the truth is, you've carried me through worse. I remember it, even if barely. The days when I was sure I'd shatter. The nights when I cried so quietly, I thought even you wouldn't hear. And yet I'm still here. Not untouched, but not alone. So remind me what's still true, even when my emotions disagree. Remind me that I'm not behind, that I'm not a failure, just because I feel weak, that weakness isn't sin, that grief isn't giving up. That feeling small doesn't mean I've lost my place in your arms. Give me eyes to see differently, not the chaos around me, but the calm underneath. Your calm. The deep and strange steadiness that doesn't deny the pain but holds it with kindness. Let it rise like warm light beneath the cracks of my fear. Let it wrap around the places that ache with doubt. And when I breathe today, let it be a breath that reminds me I don't have to hold everything together. I only have to hold on. And even that, you'll help me do. So I won't ask for a perfect day. I won't even ask for a good day. I'll ask for a held one. That's all. That whatever the day brings, noise, silence, tears, smiles, tension, stillness, I won't face it alone. That when I forget how to be brave, you'll be brave for me. That when I get tired of standing, you'll stand near enough for me to lean. That when I begin to crumble again, you'll remind me that even the crumbling ones are still held, still loved, still you. This is not the prayer of someone climbing mountains. This is the prayer of someone just trying to stay on their feet. I don't know what will happen today, and I think that's part of the heaviness. Not just what I feel now, but what I imagine could come. It's the weight of the unknown that makes holding on feel harder, because my mind doesn't stop at this moment. It leaps ahead to all the things that could go wrong, to the conversations I might not be strong enough for, to the responsibilities I might not be able to carry. It paints pictures of failure, of falling short, of being exposed as not enough. And somewhere in the middle of all that noise, I lose sight of you. Not because you left, but because I've drifted into imagining a future without you in it. And that's the lie, isn't it? The one that tells me I'll have to face the hard things alone, that you'll walk with me up to the edge and then step back and let me fall. But you're not that kind of God. You never have been. You don't lead me into a day only to abandon me in its hardest hours. You don't bring me to a place of need and then mock me for being needy. You stay through the trembling, through the exhaustion, through the questions I'm too afraid to say out loud. You stay when I don't know how to pray. You stay when my voice goes quiet. You stay when all I have left is a sigh. And maybe that's where I find strength again, not in mustering up belief, but in remembering that you don't require me to have it all figured out to be held. So maybe I don't have to grip this day with white knuckles. Maybe I don't have to brace myself for every bad possibility. Maybe I can trust that you'll be as present in the moments I dread as you are in this quiet one. And if I lose my footing later today, if I say the wrong thing, or fall behind, or get overwhelmed, you won't shake your head and walk away. You'll still be here, steady and near, helping me hold on, not with the strength of someone who never struggles, but with the grace of someone who knows they're not alone. Because there's a kind of holding on that isn't frantic. There's a kind that's soft, that says I don't know what's next, but I know you'll still be here. There's a kind that doesn't grip so tightly. It cuts off circulation, but opens its hands and says, help me carry this with you. That's the kind I want to learn. Not the desperate, clenched hands kind of holding on, but the resting in your presence kind. Teach me how to hold on without fear. Teach me how to trust that even if I don't feel strong, I'm still being kept. I know I'm not the only one praying like this today. Somewhere, someone else is whispering the same kind of breath prayer into their pillow or into their car window or into the space between meetings. And maybe that's part of what helps me keep going. The knowing that I'm not strange for feeling like this, that I'm not faithless because I'm weary, that I'm part of a quiet chorus of souls who love you but are tired, who trust you but still ache, who want to keep going but need a little more help today. You see every one of us, and you're not disappointed. So, come be my steadiness again, not because I've earned it, but because you've promised it. Come wrap around my weakness without trying to solve it too quickly. Come let me lean on you, not because I'm lazy or unwilling to try, but because trying on my own has left me worn thin. Be my anchor, God. Not in some poetic way, but in the deeply real way that gets me through the next hour. Let your nearness be louder than my fear. Let your love be thicker than the fog of my thoughts. Let your mercy be the soft cushion underneath the places where I land when I fall. Sometimes the hardest part of holding on is not the pain itself, but the silence that comes with it. The silence that makes me wonder if you still hear me, if you're still moved by this ache I keep carrying, if you're still leaning in when I have no words left, just breath and heartbeat and heaviness. It's not that I doubt you exist. I just wonder sometimes if you're close, if you're still as near to the crushed in spirit as you promised, because I don't feel lifted right now. I feel low, and I don't say that in anger or despair, just as a fact. A quiet truth that sits with me while the rest of the world speeds forward, talking about purpose and progress and goals. I'm just trying not to let go of the edge of grace that's still within reach. So much of life feels too big right now, and I too small to meet it. Even the little things, the emails, the dishes, the faces that expect energy, they stretch across my heart like weights I can't lift. And maybe what scares me most is that I don't know when it will feel easier again, if it will. If this fog will lift, or if I'll have to walk through it longer than I thought I could. That uncertainty pulls at the thread of my courage, and that's why I'm here, still praying, not because I have strength to offer, but because I need to be reminded that yours does not run out. I've learned that faith isn't always loud. It's not always a declaration. Sometimes it's a breath, a pause, a whisper that says, "Stay with me, God." And sometimes that's all it is for days on end. But maybe that's enough. Maybe faith looks like this quiet choice to keep praying when nothing changes, to keep showing up when my hands are empty, to keep trusting that if you brought me this far, you won't walk away now. I don't need a rescue. I just need presence. I don't need answers. I need assurance that I'm not invisible here, that you see me curled into this moment, that you still find worth in me, even when I'm not productive, inspiring, or brave. Remind me that being loved by you is not a transaction, that I don't earn it with resilience, that I don't lose it when I'm worn thin, that you don't get tired of me needing you. It's a strange comfort to remember that Jesus wept, that even the Son of God didn't bypass sorrow, that he didn't skip grief or pretend strength. He entered it all, the exhaustion, the heartbreak, the fear of what was ahead. And if he carried that, then maybe I can carry this, not alone, but with you beside me, with you breathing steadiness into the places where I can't catch my breath, with you anchoring me to the truth that I am held, even when it doesn't feel like it. So let my weakness today not be shameful, but sacred. Let it be the doorway where grace enters. Let it be the place you stoop down to meet me, not to scold or fix, but to be with. Let your presence do what no words can. Wrap around me like a soft blanket that doesn't make the cold disappear, but makes it bearable. If I laugh today, let it be because joy surprised me. If I cry, let it be because I trusted you with my sorrow. If I fall silent, let it be because I finally felt safe enough not to fill the air with explanations. And if I hold on, even just barely, let it be because you are the one giving my hands their grip. And now, God, here I am, not fixed, not fully steady, not suddenly brave, just here, still holding on. And that in itself feels like a kind of miracle, not the kind that makes headlines or stirs applause, but the quiet kind that slips by unnoticed. The miracle of not letting go when everything in me wanted to. The miracle of choosing you again, even when I'm not sure what's ahead. I thought I needed to be stronger by now. I thought I'd wake up one day and the heaviness would be gone, the clarity would return, and I'd walk like someone full of light again. But maybe the light is already here, not as a feeling, but as your presence, flickering gently through the fog. Maybe faith isn't about escaping the fog, but walking through it with you beside me. And as I face whatever this day holds, I don't want to keep measuring my worth by how well I perform, or how much I produce, or how fast I bounce back. I want to be the kind of soul that knows how to stay soft, even when life feels sharp. I want to keep showing up honestly, even when my only offering is an open heart and a willingness to try. Because somewhere deep down, I believe you value that kind of courage, the quiet kind, the hidden kind, the kind that keeps loving and hoping and breathing, even when no one's watching. So I won't demand perfection from myself today. Or won't chase a version of strength that looks like silence or self-sufficiency. I'll hold space for all the parts of me that are still healing. I'll be gentle with my slow steps. I'll honor the ache without letting it define me. And when I feel the weight press in again, when my chest tightens and my thoughts start spinning, I'll return to this place where I remember that holding on isn't about clenched fists. It's about open hands. It's about letting you carry what I can't. I don't know what's coming, and I don't need to. I just need to know. You'll still be here when it arrives. That whatever knocks on my door today, whether joy or grief or challenge or grace, you'll face it with me. You won't ask me to face it alone. You won't stand behind me like a spectator or far above me like a judge. You'll be beside me like you are now, like you always have been, even on the days I couldn't feel it. So this is my prayer, plain and unpolished. Be with me, God. Be near when I feel lost. Be peace when I feel anxious. Be strength when I feel weak. Be hope when I feel empty. Be enough when I feel like I'm not. Let me feel you as a presence more than an answer, as a companion more than a solution, as a stillness that doesn't force, but invites me to breathe again, to stay again, to hope again. Let me not confuse survival with failure. Let me not call small steps meaningless. Let me not shame myself for needing you so deeply. Let that need be holy. Let it draw me close. Let it open me to a love that doesn't flinch at my fragility, a love that doesn't require me to impress or prove, only to come, only to receive. And at the end of this day, if all I can say is, I didn't give up, let that be a prayer too. Let it be worship. Let it be sacred. Let it be enough. I'm still here, God. That's all I have. That's all I need to have, because you're still here too. There's something sacred about waking up with nothing to give but still coming to. You. No plan, no passion, no resolution, only this hushed ache and a barely there hope that you'll meet me again. Maybe that's what trust really is, not the loud confidence of someone who knows exactly what to say, but the soft return of someone who doesn't, who still shows up anyway. I don't need to impress you this morning. I just need to be honest. And if there's one thing I can offer with my whole heart today, it's this. I'm tired, I'm fragile, but I'm not letting go. Not because I'm strong, but because you are. This morning isn't shiny, it's slow. It doesn't carry the energy of a fresh start or the thrill of a breakthrough. It's quiet and hesitant and trembling. And yet I believe you are just as present in this kind of morning as in the ones filled with momentum. Maybe even more, because it's here when I feel empty and hollow and worn thin that you draw near, not to fix me, but to hold me. And that kind of nearness changes something. Not everything at once, but enough to keep breathing. Enough to reach out one more time. Enough to feel the faint pulse of hope beneath the surface. I'm learning that I don't need to be healed to be held, that I don't need to understand the path to be guided along it, that you don't measure my faith by how loud I sing or how much I smile, but by the fact that I still turn toward you when I could have turned away. So here I am again, quiet, needy, but open. Show me that this openness is a kind of hate, that saying I don't know how, but I'm still here, is a holy offering, one that you never take lightly. Let me feel you in the stillness today, not in big declarations, but in the hum of breath, the pause before the next thought, the warmth that finds me when I stop bracing. Remind me that the smallest surrender still matters, that showing up empty doesn't disqualify me from being filled, that weakness isn't an interruption of grace, but an invitation for it, that my cracks don't scare you, they just make more room for light. I don't know what I'm holding on to exactly. Sometimes it feels like memory, sometimes like instinct, sometimes like the faint echo of your voice in my bones. But I know this. I'm not ready to give up. Not today. Maybe not ever. Not because I'm sure of how things will turn out, but because I've tasted the steadiness of your presence. And even now, even in this thinned out moment, I believe you're here, not to demand more, but to be enough for what I lack. So, help me hold on without pretending. Help me stay grounded in you even when everything else feels unsteady. Help me be okay with smallness, with quietness, with surviving instead of soaring. And if I forget who I am today, remind me I'm yours, and that's enough. God, there are mornings when the sky looks gray, even if the sun is shining, when light doesn't reach the heart the way it used to, when it's not sadness exactly, but more like a weight, a low, constant ache that nothing seems to touch. I'm not asking you to chase that ache away. I'm just asking you to sit with me in it, not as a stranger with answers, but as a friend who stays, because I've realized I don't always need clarity or healing right away. Sometimes what I need most is to not be alone with it. So be here with me in this moment that feels both too slow and too full. Be in the mess of my thoughts, in the fog behind my eyes, in the stretch of hours I'm not sure how to fill. Be in the disappointment I can't name yet, in the hope I'm too tired to hold, in the question that has no tidy answer. Just be. That's what I long for. Not instruction, not advice. Present. I want to let go of the need to explain myself, to justify how I feel, to make it palatable for others. I want to be fully known, even in this undone state, and still fully held, and I believe you are the only one who can do that perfectly. You, who made me from dust and breath, understand what it means to be fragile. You don't shame my limits. You stay within them. You wrap around them. You hold space for the breaking without rushing it into repair. And maybe that's what gives me courage today. Not the absence of struggle, but the assurance that I'm not failing by feeling what I feel, that I don't need to hide my rawness to be worthy of grace. But this version of me, undone, unfinished, unsure, is still enough for you to call beloved. So help me treat myself gently today. Help me speak to my own heart the way you would. Help me choose softness where shame wants to be sharp. I know you're not asking for performance. You're asking for presence. So I offer mine, distracted, exhausted, afraid, but present. And that's my prayer today. Let my presence be my prayer. Let my breath be enough. Let my longing speak louder than my fear. Let this moment be holy, even if it's messy and unclear. And if I find even the smallest flicker of light by the end of today, let me say thank you. And if I don't, let me still say thank you, because you were here. You are here.